Hello and welcome to the Spotlight Games podcast. I don't know the timing of that intro video very well, so that might have been a little bit of a millennial pause there. Don't worry about it because this is episode 163 and I'm JakeTwitchin and I'm here with GWT Mori, and the GWT stands for gigantic waifu thighs.
No.
Oh yeah, I wrote that one down.
Wow, Jake, that might be
Yeah.
that might be the best one I've heard yet, honestly.
Yeah, gigantic waifu thighs. It was gonna be gentle. I was leading with gentle initially, but I think I landed on gigantic. I figured that kind of worked
I
pretty
think
well.
so. I think the only reason that P Schwag in the chat said "show me them thighs" is because you said they were gigantic
Right.
and not gentle. So
yeah, I'm looking for the center word on gentle blank tentacles at some point soon too. So we'll figure that out. That's a little tease for what's coming up. But today on the Spotlight Games podcast, we are talking about some release dates and some sales numbers and some layoffs. It's a video game classic.
Yeah.
We have a whole lot of video game stuff to talk about because this is the Spotlight Games podcast, where each week we spotlight the latest and greatest in the world of video games. You can get it by subscribing to our YouTube channel at Spotlight Games Pod, or by searching for Spotlight Games in your favorite podcast app. And hey, you can be on the show by tuning in as we record live Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. That's now on twitch.tv/Spotlight Games Pod. That's here. So be sure to follow us there so that you're notified when we are going live. Hey, Maury.
Yeah. What's up, Jake?
How you doing?
I'm all right. I was better before I read Rabbit's chat, which says GWT gags while talking.
No, that's understandable. That's a tough one.
Yeah, I was better until I read that. And now I'm worse. No, I'm good. I'm good, man. Yeah. Dude, so I think it was last week. I wouldn't have been on Spotlight that I went back and I watched it, and I saw the opening and the outro for Spotlight that's now just been added that all of you just witnessed. And dude, it filled my heart with such joy. When I watch it, I smile from ear to ear. I see all these faces of people that I love, everybody having a great time. The music is upbeat, childlike. It's full of wonder and joy and not the dread of adulthood. It's genuinely it's amazing. It strikes a chord in me that hits so deeply.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it just makes me smile from ear to ear. That's the highlight of my week.
It's slick. Yeah. If you're an audio listener, check it out. There's a montage that goes along with the music of kind of latest and greatest moments in Spotlight Games. A lot of guests, a lot of fun faces, and some shenanigans afoot. Some might say there's some. No, I'm sorry.
No.
Listen, I don't want to go crazy here, but a little bit of table setting because there's actually a lot of news. Interestingly enough, I'm going to focus on just pretty much big stories and then some stuff that I picked over the last 2 weeks because you and I had a week off. P Schwissy, aka Patrick Schweigert, our normal host of Spotlight Games, returned to the show for the first time in quite a while with a shirt on, and he hosted the Lost Records Bloom and Rage spoiler cast. So you and I in Spotlight Games haven't actually talked news in 2 weeks. So there's a little bit to recap on. I don't want to spend a ton of time on the what we're playing, but we've been playing a lot for once, so I don't want to skip it either. So I figured let's run through some of the stuff that we're playing. We'll try not to spend more than half the show on it because we could very easily do it. At the top, I'll tell you right now, it's the big new releases from the last couple of weeks, some early access into some things, and I think that's stuff that people are going to be very interested to talk about. Maury, where does your passion lie between the three things that you have been playing? Which one do you want to start with?
I will briefly start with what I have dumped the most time into. And that's smart. Yeah, that's the Marathon Alpha. Holy shit, to open. Shout out to Khalif Adams of Spawn on Me, friend of the show, for getting me into the fucking closed alpha for Marathon. Holy shit. Wild moment. I remember playing the closed alpha for Destiny when I was 13 or 14 years old. So this is a full circle moment for me. Only now it's not that I got lucky. It's that somebody that I know in the industry was kind enough, gracious enough to want me to come be a part. And holy shit, Jake, I think I've put close to 20 hours into the Marathon Alpha. I'm taking off Dude, I've taken off work for this fucker. Like,
yeah,
I have a lot of thoughts to share, but we're gonna save that for a later time. Because maybe we'll be doing something here at Drop In, Drop Out where we discuss it a little more in depth.
Yeah. What's the logistics on that alpha? When does it run until?
So it's going to close on the morning of May 4th. I have taken off of work all day the 3rd and all day the 4th. I won't be there.
Nice.
I won't be making anybody drinks those last 2 days.
Right.
I'll be clearing out my vault. I will say one thing, and that's that I really am enjoying my time. The barrier of entry is low. The barrier of enjoyment is high. Like the getting into that game.
The barrier of enjoyment is also low or even lower.
Fuck this guy.
No.
I mean, like the barrier of like entry is like, dude, if you've never played an extraction shooter, like they make it a fairly easy onboarding process. The moment where you're like, oh, I understand what this game is, and I'm really fucking enjoying myself is like at the 10 or 15 hour mark. So that's all I'm going to say for now. And we'll get into deeper thoughts at a later date. But Jake, there's something else that I've put about an hour into that you've put a lot more into. You had early access to this title, and that's Clair Obscur.
Ooh.
Can you tell me where you're at in the game, what you think so far? Can you give me some of your thoughts? I want to know because I'm an hour in and holy shit, I took like 50 screenshots and I'm in love with where the story's fucking going. So tell me what you think. I want to know.
For sure. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the prologue. I really like Expedition 33. My review copy was provided by Kepler and Sandfall. We love this. Yes. I know a lot of people in chat right now. Also, hi to our sweet live chat. P Schwag is here. Gianni is here. We have Nolan here, Rabbit, Cog, Kayla. And I know there's a lot of Expedition 33 fans. So feel free to dump some thoughts in there and we can maybe pull from the chat as well if you guys have like a quick 1 or 2 lines about how you're enjoying the game. I am about 4 hours in, and where I'm at with this game is very, very hot on it. I had access to this game. I got a vertical slice build as a preview as part of their program 2 months ago. They didn't have a public demo, but I got a private one, which was also about 3 or 4 hours long. And unfortunately for me, I played the prologue. Did you finish the prologue? Do you know? Did you get to chapter 1?
I mean, I'm right where you're about to go on the expedition.
Understood. So you did not finish the prologue. No. So basically, I played about that hour that you played, and then immediately it put me through a little bit more. And then once chapter 1 started, that was the start of my demo. So my experience with it so far has been really strong opening hour and then replaying what I had already played kind of to get to that point. And I did myself a little bit of disservice on Expedition 33 just because I was like, I want to get past this part fast. So I'm like avoiding a couple of fights and I'm beelining and I'm not doing my equipment and stuff. And I'm like, all right, now I'm at this fight and I'm under leveled. Like, but listen, the bones are so good. This game is releasing to critical acclaim. It's already pushed out 1 million copies sold. And that's not including players on Game Pass. So it's looking to be, it's looking to be a commercial success as well, which is very, very exciting. Expedition 33. Hot ticket, and you're gonna go the distance on this thing?
Hell yeah, dude. And you know that I'm not a huge like turn-based RPG guy. I'm just not.
Yeah.
Number one, the fact that they got Charlie Cox at the helm is crazy. Like that is such a mythic fucking FYP pull. Jesus Christ, brother. Sure. So yeah, like already I really love the performances. I love like the gameplay. I like that there's a real-time element to the combat without saying too much. Like I love that whenever you're parrying or you're perfect dodging, like you have to hit buttons at certain times. And for me, that is a better approach to turn-based combat than you just press a button and it does the input and you just sit there and watch it. Like I love that it pulls you into the combat and it demands your attention. It demands you be a part of it. It demands that you focus. Like I like that because those are the games I typically play. So I've already enjoyed that about the game. And like, dude, it's gut wrenching. Like I don't remember the last time the first 30 minutes of a game pulled me in as hard as Clair Obscur has. Like I don't. It's been years before since I felt that emotion of like, holy fuck, I am invested in Gustav's journey. Like I'm invested in like destroying this ancient creature called the Paintress who does this to people.
Paintress.
Like yes, the Paintress. Bro, like that moment where they're all standing there and they're about to say goodbye. Like all the kids being orphaned. You feel slighted. Like I felt like anger. Like, dude, it's so potent. The emotion in this game is great. The acting in this game is great. The combat feels good. Like, yes, I will go the distance with this game. And I purposefully last year did not say that about a lot of games that I had been playing, like Metaphor ReFantasia, which is an amazing game. But I knew I wasn't going to beat Metaphor. I knew I wasn't. If I'm not mistaken,
Metaphor out of 10.
Metaphor out of 10. Metaphor out of 10 is crazy. You don't actually feel that way, do you?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh wow, that's a hot
Persona 5 out of 10.
Wow, holy shit! I can't be here anymore. I have to leave the show. No,
Final Fantasy 10 out of 10. Let's go. Turn-based enjoyer.
We could have guessed. I remember when we were doing early conversations about Clair Obscur on Dido, you had shared some thoughts about how long the game takes to beat. And if I'm not mistaken, it's much shorter than other RPGs are. What is the time to finish on average for people?
I'm hearing 40-ish, I think.
That's great.
With the opportunity to go a little longer, but it can be a little shorter too. And yeah, I think I remember when this game came out, I'm sorry, when we talked about this and I got to play that preview build, I think Patrick was hosting either this show or Dido. I'm not positive, but he asked me a question. Like, I was like, if I had to rate what I just played of this game, I would give this like a 9 out of 10, pushing a 10 out of 10. Like, I think this is going to be an all-time classic game, which, by the way, games journalist JakeTwitchin absolutely hitting the nail on the head with that prediction. With his early copy. And he said, asked a great question. He said, what in your head could go wrong if this game comes out to make it score less than that 9 or 10 out of 10? And one of the things that I brought out was maybe length. Is there a world where this game doesn't have enough time to cook? Does it cut short? Does it make a weird story beat? Is there any sort of issue like that could prevent it from being fantastic, like where it really pulls things back? And it seems like they are telling a very, very interesting story that's going crazy. And I know that like the murmurings throughout the communities right now are that this game is all gas, no brakes when it comes to its story. Wow. So any worry that I had has been put to rest by what I've heard about Expedition 33, which is exciting. Really exciting.
Yeah. I've already heard a lot of people in the industry saying that if this doesn't win at the Game Awards, they're going to riot. So
yeah, it's going to be a tough year at the Game Awards. I mean, at this point, early guesses for Game of the Year, and I'm probably forgetting some, like Monster Hunter World has to be on there. Blueprints has to be on there. It sounds like this has to be on there.
Do you think Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 makes it?
Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 out of 10?
Damn. There you go.
I don't think so. Okay. I think that gets like a best like RPG nod or something like that. But I don't think that's Game of the Year. I think that's a little bit niche. And I don't even think it reviewed all that well. I think that's in like the mid 80s, right? No, I think so.
Was it?
I think it's actually really high. I'm not sure. You pull that up. Well, I verbally ask P-Swag if he's listening. I won't say it if not. But P-Swag, if you're listening, can I tell my Charlie Cox joke?
I'm already nervous.
Don't worry about it. Oh yeah,
dude. It's got an 88 on Metacritic. Kingdom Come does.
An 88. Yeah, I mean that's high for sure. But I feel like it doesn't. I feel like it's missing that je ne sais quoi, if you will.
Sure.
I don't think it's quite there. I think maybe Kingdom Come 3.
Tell you what else is going to be in that list.
Ooh.
Death Stranding 2 on the beach. That's gonna make it. That's gonna make it this year.
Dude, I played Death Stranding 1. It's not even on my list. We should talk about it.
I saw a TikTok of you playing it, and I almost shit myself. I was so excited. Yeah. I almost commented. Did I not? I don't think I did send a comment. Fuck.
I don't know. It was like an impulsive thing where at like midnight I was like, let's just kick back and play some Death Stranding. And my goal for it was I'm just gonna kick my feet up and like lean back, like all the lights were turned down and I had my hood up and I was just like sunk into my chair like a little goblin and just like absolutely maxing and relaxing while I was playing this, so that I was like immersed in like dark room, beautiful visuals. Dude, that game clicked with me in a big way. I gotta find the time to get back to it, hopefully before On the Beach comes out, because I really, really like what I played. That's a very strong opening. I think to play that game at first, I think you need to cut out the amount of time that I cut out for it. I think if I played like an hour or 2 hour long session, I would have come away like, oh, I don't know. But getting getting like the tutorial, if you will, getting to that first city, having the story beats transpire, and then getting re-released back into the city or back out of the city to do more exploring was like okay, now I got my wits about me. I understand kind of what we're doing and how things are going here. I'm excited to get some more points on this map and keep crushing. So yeah, Death Stranding, really good stuff.
Dude,
you have been playing Rematch ahead of time.
Yes.
What's the deal, man? Good?
Oh, dude. Rocket League without cars. I'm sorry. I'm going to make that joke 14 more times before the game comes out. But like, dude, I loved my time. I think by the time that the beta went offline, I think I got 5 hours in. It was a really hectic work week for me that week. I love Rematch. Holy shit. If you have a good team playing that game, you're going to have like the greatest time on the planet. Like easiest Dido stream of all time is all of us playing Rematch when it's out. Like, I think it's going to, I think it will maintain a player base when it comes out definitively. I don't think it's going to keep me around for like, 6 months to a year, but I will happily jump in and play it, now and again. But dude, the gameplay feels great. Everything about it is awesome. Like, no matter where I was on the field, if I was the goalie or if I was the guy pushing up to take a shot, no matter what you're doing, they do a really good job of making all of it feel important, exciting, high stakes, intense. It's great. And honestly, I don't know how to like compare it to like, Sifu, which was obviously Slow Clap's breakout game, because it's not anything like Sifu, but it's as excellent as Sifu is. Like it's so intricate, so well designed. So I loved my time. Yeah.
I was late to the party, and then when I did get in, they had some issues with console alpha or beta testing, so I wasn't able to get my hands on it. But I think I am in that creator program as well. I think I got an invite to that, so we should have pretty comprehensive coverage before release on drop in drop out, because the way that they handled that, shout out Slow Clap, is they hooked everybody up with not only a code for themselves but with 4 additional codes to give to their team, which is so rad. As far as like a preview goes, to really get in there and do things the right way, which is excellent. Yeah, man, what a world. You're playing all these early release games and whatnot. Meanwhile, I'm over here playing The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Mori, let me ask you, do you know from the zeitgeist, just from being a gamer, do you know the Ocarina of Time lore? Do you know the Water Temple?
Yes, I've heard about how treacherous the Water Temple is. If that's
treacherous,
is that the right terminology? Because I've heard it's a pain in the ass.
It's a pain in the ass. I actually did that this morning. I streamed for 6.5 hours. I was in one dungeon, and I've been pretty adamant about not having backseaters. I don't want anyone to tell me what to do or where to go, because I haven't beat this game. I haven't been as far into this game in 20 years as I am like right now. So the last time I played it was like leading up to Wind Waker's release in 2004. I played the Zelda Collector's Edition pre-order bonus on GameCube, and I went through and I actually beat the game. And since then, I have started it a couple times and ran through the first couple dungeons and stuff, but I've never been as far as I am now since that time in the early 2000s. So everything is very, very fresh to me, and I am basically learning this stuff. Sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, something about this room, or at the top of the waterfall there's that thing, but oh my god, that water temple is as nightmarish as people make it out to be. And in my head I'm always like, it's not that bad.
Yeah,
it's pretty bad. Yeah, it's a tough time, but that game is a masterpiece still that holds up incredibly well. It shows its age for sure, but there is something so special about it, and the Zelda streams have been so vibey as well. So
yeah,
really digging my time with that. And the reason that I got onto it, you asked me before the show, you were like, how did you end up playing Ocarina of Time? And I said I had to declare game bankruptcy last week. I was like, I'll explain it when I get on the show. So let me explain to you what happened. At the end of last week, I was in a situation where I had so many games on my list of like plates being spun that I was like paralyzed by what to do. I have my list right here. So I had playthroughs of, all going at once, the new Big Buck Hunter game, Blueprints, Lost Records, Bloom and Rage, Mario Mon, Death Stranding, South of Midnight, Dead or Alive Extreme Venus Vacation, Expedition 33, Oblivion Remastered, and NBA Street. And I made the list and I was like, which one of these do I play? And I'm just looking at it like, I don't know. I guess like maybe Expedition 33 is new, or Oblivion. Like, well, this one had a lot of views, but I kind of want to play Blueprints more. And I was like, I don't know what to do. And I was just like, what if I played Zelda? And I just went live impulsively with Zelda and it grabbed me. So it's nice, man. It's like the equivalent. It's like a video game. I try to use this a lot. We gotta, you know who we have to employ on this? We have to get Kayla Gray. We have to get Kayla on here to give us the correct like metaphor or simile. What is the High Score Weekly in chat can probably help. What is the equivalent of like a page turner in a video game? You know, one that like calls back to you where you're like, ooh, I can't put this fucker down. Like a manual turner, perhaps. No, that doesn't play. They don't really have manuals anymore. No. Especially when you play digitally. But there is something that's been, I played that Zelda game and I was like, I'll stream for a couple hours, and I streamed that first night for 5.5. And then the next day I woke up and I was like, I should play more Zelda, and I streamed for 6.5, and now I'm 5+ hour streams into it, and all I want to do is hop off and play more Zelda. So it's really fun to crank through a game like that when it pulls you back in.
Sure.
Pretty cool. I mean, I have some thoughts on Oblivion, but not many. I only played for about an hour and a half. That's obviously very technically sound. And the last time we were talking, we were predicting that game was about to be announced and shadow dropped. And as usual, JakeTwitchin and JakeTwitchin Mori were exactly correct on Spotlight Games. It's what we do around here. And it's great. It's a new coat of paint running on Unreal Engine 5 that is pasted on top of the original Creation engine. Is that the name of the engine?
Yeah,
which is extremely impressive. The game is, I think, a really cool iteration on what a remaster can be. It kind of blends the line of remaster and remake. A lot of love put in, outpouring of love from the fans on how well everything has been treated. Definitely the most exciting and probably least controversial launch of a Bethesda game since Skyrim. Probably. Not even Fallout 4. Fallout 4 had some issues. I think probably since Skyrim. So people are excited. People like it. I enjoyed my time with it more than I expected to enjoy my time with it. It wasn't for declaring game bankruptcy. I would have maybe spent some more time, and I still think I might go back to it. We'll see how everything pans out. Oh, look what I've been using.
What? Show me. And then I have a question about Oblivion.
My Prima official strategy guide of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Absolutely insane. Save Hyrule from the evil Ganondorf.
Wow. How old? When do you think you bought that? What year?
This, I think I probably bought this. I played the game in so I've beat that game 3 times. I bought that game the day it came out in 1998, and I beat it with a friend. And then we spent weekends and weekends trying to get through it and getting lost in temples and stuff like that. And then when we finally got through it, I was like, I'm going to start my own save and play through it on my own, which I did as well. And I played through it again in 2004. I probably brought that guide days after it came out. That thing was necessary. Absolutely necessary.
So you've had that guide for almost 30 years.
Oh, yeah. It's fucked up.
That's awesome. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's got some wear and tear. It's got some love.
It's seen some better days. In fact, there's a full page missing in the water temple here in the center. And here's how bad it was. I only opened this guide twice so far, and one of the times was for the water temple. And I moved to the page where I needed the guide, and that was the exact page that was missing, which means it is probably something that has been frustrating me through every playthrough I've ever used of this. And at one point that page got so worn down that it ripped out and tore out. It doesn't exist anymore, which is so fucking funny.
That's insane.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Wow.
Truly well, dude, insane.
I want to ask you, because I'm only about an hour and a half into the Oblivion remaster. How far are you in?
About the same, probably 2 hours.
Okay.
I want to say.
It looks so much better than it has any right to look.
Yeah, it's insane.
Like, holy shit. Like, even looking at the face models of the characters compared to how they looked in the original like version of Oblivion.
Oh my God.
It's baffling, bro. Dude, like,
yeah,
huge win for Bethesda. Like, huge win.
For sure.
Yeah.
It is a really impressive feat that they've accomplished. And I think this whole, like, both engines on top of each other, which I guess isn't as novel of a concept in the video game industry as we think it is, being such a centerpiece here, but I think it's because of Bethesda's proprietary engine that they use, not having been combined with it before, now that we're on Unreal 5. So the fact that that coat of paint is on it just makes things even better. So it still has all of that jank, but some things just feel much nicer, look much nicer. It is a really cool thing that they've done.
This reminds me of Diablo 2 Resurrected, where they basically just put a brand new coat of paint on Diablo 2. And if you wanted to, with a click of a button, you could go back to how Diablo 2 originally looked before it got the Resurrected remaster. But Jake, we could probably sit here all day and talk about this kind of shit. But before we go any further, I just wanted to say, you know, as our resident Nintendo stan, how does it feel to know that the Oblivion remake costs $50, but Breath of the Wild on the Switch 2 costs $80?
Breath of the Wild 2 doesn't cost me anything. I already own Breath of the Wild.
This fucking guy. This fucking
came right over, baby. $60 game. The gift that keeps on giving. And with my existing Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack subscription, I get that upgrade for free.
God, guys, this fucking
it's a built-in cost.
This fucking
the value proposition is actually insane. With my savings, perhaps I'll buy Nintendo Switch Tour, guided tour. What's it called? Welcome Tour.
Welcome Tour. Yeah.
I'm saving so much on Zelda that I have all this expendable cash.
I hate you. I hate you so much.
I did pre-order a Switch too. Did you? You don't have any interest, right? Or are you getting one off jump?
Well, I will get one later, but I'm not. I didn't even want to sit and wait in line at launch. And I heard all the stuff the next day about how people who had pre-orders had their pre-orders canceled. And I just decided that, look, Nintendo 6 months after launch is going to have those things stocked in every store. I'm going to go get one then. Really, the game I'm wanting to play on the Switch 2 more than anything is the Dusk Bloods. And that's not coming till 2026. So I have time.
For sure.
Yeah.
You'll never believe this, but I really like Mario. And
right, that part.
Right. I want to make sure. Here, let me ask you, will the Nintendo Switch 2 be a worthy investment? Audio listeners, I'm shaking a magic 8-ball that is a licensed Nintendo product that is in the shape of a question mark cube. I'm a tired. Okay, excellent. Thank you, Mario Cube.
Wow.
Very good. Well, with that sort of incredible banter all done with, let's jump into the news. A couple big stories today, in fact, that I want to talk about. We'll kick it off with my favorite video game personality, Randy Pitchford.
God, fuck him. Who needs him?
Let's make sure that I just want to make sure. I know I tell this story on content all the time, but do you know about Randy Pitchford's USB drive?
What?
Medieval Times USB drive?
No.
Okay, so 15 years ago, Randy Pitchford lost a USB thumb drive in a Medieval Times. And on that thumb drive was some concerning content, including a explicit erotic video of a woman performing what he described as something similar to a magic trick that involved ping pong balls.
Oh, that's horrifying.
Go to Randy Pitchford's Wikipedia page. The guy is a fucking madman. But Randy Pitchford put out a crazy selfie cam with millennial pause and everything video today, doing a bait and switch. He's like, a lot of times games move their release dates. We had originally said, September, end of September, and we have to bring to you some additional news about Borderlands 4's shifting times. They pushed it up. Okay, so instead of back, they pushed it up. They pulled it up. They pushed it on. They have Borderlands 4 releasing early. It's coming out September 12th now.
Wow.
And it's thrown. Also, Borderlands 4 has a state of play. PlayStation branded state of play. When is it, you ask? Fucking tomorrow, Wednesday. Audio listeners, if you're listening to this, it happens in a couple hours. It's at 5 p.m. Eastern time on April 30th. It's April 29th right now. Absolutely fucking crazy. So we'll see some more on Borderlands 4. I will not be watching it. I will probably play Borderlands 4, but I don't think I need 20 minutes of footage on it. It's going to be more Borderlands.
That feels like something that you could have just waited for tomorrow at the State of Play. Am I wrong?
I think that would have been a bigger splash. I am unsure why they actually did that. That's a good question.
Yeah,
but it definitely feels like one of those contractually obligated PlayStation State of Plays where like the deal for promotion was like, yeah, we'll do the marketing rights with you, but we need a State of Play. We're featured in your 2 State of Plays and one of your showcases, and then you give us a standalone State of Play. So whatever. It's fine. What's very interesting though is the fallout. So of course, publisher, developer Gearbox, publisher. You know?
Do what?
Do you know who the publisher is?
It's 2K Games, right?
2K Games under Take-Two Interactive, which means people are starting to assume that perhaps this release date is moving to make some space. Yeah, hands on his head.
Shit. GTA
you think
6.
GTA is ready? Yeah.
Oh,
so
dude.
like late September, early October, maybe?
Oh, I hope not. Because Ghost of Yote is October 2nd.
Speaking of, we can talk a little bit about that. They put out a pretty decent trailer and released their release date as well.
Yeah.
Ghost of 6 out of 10. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, this fucking guy. Dude, well, I mean, now that you say that, that would make the most sense as to why they would move the release date. That's so weird, though. Like, I don't know. Is 2-3 weeks really going to change? I mean, I think it's only 2 weeks. Is 2 weeks going to change that much about your game sales if people know GTA 6 is coming 2 weeks later? Like, if you're trying to avoid a complete bloodbath, don't you like push it up into fucking like June?
I think anything with like a couple week buffer time is enough where if you give it a little bit of space, you're fine. It's when GTA is in hand that it gets scary. Because I think it starts to command people's time, especially if it has a big online component. But even if not, it's going to be a very dense open world that is going to take the industry by storm. I mean, it'll be so much fun. We'll obviously have a ton of content on Spotlight and drop in, drop out concerning Grand Theft Auto. But I think the ramifications of Grand Theft Auto's release throughout the industry is going to be fascinating to watch other games player data drop off, to watch the Twitch category absolutely explode. I think it's going to be a very fascinating time in video games. But yeah, this is, I think, a cool, interesting little look at perhaps behind the curtain of what we can expect this year. But I think it's the best indicator that we've had so far as like arguably concrete evidence that GTA is coming this year.
Yeah. Probably
since the announcement.
Yeah, and this is what's weird, dude. Like, the more that we talk about, you know, because I've been saying, I mean, I put it in my fantasy critic. Clearly, I think GTA 6 is coming this year. Watching, like, thinking about how these developers, like, how their games might be completely forgotten if they drop in that 4-month period. I mean, it's a lot of games dropping between September and December. I mean, you've got Marathon. I mean, just on the Sony side, you've got Marathon and Ghost of Yote. Like, there's so much shit that's going to be releasing in that time period. I really do wonder, like, how that's going to affect those games, like, livelihoods if GTA 6 drops in October. Like, what happens? I don't know. Yeah.
Coal Mines has arrived in the chat and says that they could have been moving to make room for Ghosts of Yotai, which is, it's possible. I don't think that's not a multi-platform release, and I don't think it's big enough to cannibalize the audience too much from Borderlands. I think maybe shifting it, that could make sense, but I think it's probably more than that, is my guess.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. I like it, though. I'm excited. This year is turning out to be an absolute banger for games. And I mean, we've had banger after banger after banger year after like a light 2020, 2021, arguably. But goddamn, showing no signs of slowing down. Despite that, there is no shortage of nightmares. Respawn today. EA announcing that they are doing restructuring across all departments at Respawn. Looks like 100+ jobs eliminated. 2 games that were in their incubation stage canceled. One of them, according to Jeff Grubb, I believe, a extraction shooter set in the Titanfall universe.
Wow.
And Titanfall 3, of course, confirmed not in active development, considering unless it's somewhere else, I guess, in the company, which I can't imagine that being the case. That's Respawn's baby, the Apex universe. So at this point, outside of lending their work to Star Wars Zero, what is the
Zero Company? Zero Company.
Zero Company. They are refocusing their efforts exclusively on Apex Legends and Jedi, Star Wars Jedi, whatever 3 is called.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
It's unfortunate, but it's not a new story. Like, we're consistently seeing developers and publishers narrow their focus on what they're going to allot their time for, because there's just so much risk right now. Like, especially when you hear that one of the canceled titles was an extraction shooter set in the Apex universe. Like, what is that? That's a fucking risk. That's a new concept. You know what I mean? Obviously, you have the luxury of it being in the Apex universe, but the extraction shooters genre is not exactly like massive. It's still fairly niche. So it's like, yeah, you see them eliminating risk, which is what all developers and publishers are doing and have been doing now for the last year, 2 years, as a lot of games come out and don't succeed. Like, prime example is that this month, well, not this month, but technically next month, so 2 days from now, right? Multiverses is going to go offline, right? That is a Smash clone that uses every billion-dollar Warner Brothers IP, and it couldn't survive the free-to-play market. Couldn't do it, right? Like, you look at Concord, they got shut down in October.
I think June is the end of X Defiant.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Ubisoft, #Ubisoft partner.
You're so funny.
Crazy. Crazy, man. It's true. It is, obviously, it's unfortunate. Hear me out. Extraction shooter set in the Marathon universe.
Oh, that's an interesting fish. Bungie, what are you doing?
Yeah, man, we're so desensitized to these layoff stories that I think each one gets more impactful, yet the impact on the individual stays the same, which is really unfortunate. You know, we will realistically, like, it's hard for me to even remember what the last round of layoffs were and at which company it was at. And that's a really sad thing too, because they become such commonplace that they all fold into each other. And my general thought is lots of layoffs this year again, 3 years in a row.
Dude, yeah. I hate it.
Respawn, such a talented team, and everything they do is always so like smooth and slick. I really feel like they were this perfect little balance of, not only were they making really dope games that always felt so nice to play, like Titanfall, like those 2 Jedi games, but then they put out Apex, and Apex had that same attention to quality, but also hit that like free to play and microtransaction sweet spot of, this is not only a good game, but this is a games as a service that has entered the zeitgeist and has legs. And I think that game is really starting to show its age, and Fortnite not showing signs of slowing down while Apex does, which means they have to look a little bit more critically at what that team is doing. See, you know, is there anything new that we can bring to the table? If not, restructuring, and here we are. So that's tough. From what I understand, EA company-wide had trouble with their games as a service. Madden was good, but I think EA Sports FC took a really big hit after the, you know, in a post FIFA world, I think.
Yeah.
Financially, that's a tough time for them. Maybe they can go back to making a bunch of like licensed movie games. I want like 7 a year. God. That's my EA, baby.
God, I pray not. I don't want it. No, but something you said that I think is like valid is that like something that I have come to really dislike about talking about games is that like I am greatly desensitized to layoff stories. Like, you just told me that 100 people lost their job and are now like fucking scouring the internet looking for new work so that they can pay their mortgage next month. And that's a fucking like egregious tragedy when you look at like the fact that we're a multi-billion-dollar industry. I mean, far more than multi-billion, but like, I don't know. It's like every time I do these shows, we announce a round of layoffs. And so I have just slowly, like, my reaction is not what it was when I first started discussing these things. I talked about workers' rights and unions, and please, like, I'm still going to scream that from the top of my lungs. Like, please unionize, please like protect yourself, please like fight for the rights that you do have and make sure that they show up in the companies that you work for. But it's exhausting, and it's also tiring, and it's also desensitizing. I don't have anything new to say. That's what also sucks, is that like we have these stories often, if not all the time. And like I think my sentiment will always be the same. Like, fight for the rights that you do have, and fucking unionize. And like, I don't know, make sure that if you're gonna get laid off, make sure you get a fat ass fucking check on the way out. It's gonna cover you for 6 months to a year. Like, just cover your ass as best as you can, because our industry is like, we're getting really stingy, we're getting really greedy, we're getting really scared, because guess what? Console sales aren't going up anymore. Game sales aren't going up anymore. We've plateaued. We flatlined. You know what I mean? Like, it's after you get out of a pandemic, nobody's inside anymore. You're starting to feel the effects of it. You hired all these people. You thought it would be this never-ending growth that frankly doesn't exist anywhere in any industry. And now like we're feeling the repercussions of that. So just as always, like if you're in the industry, protect yourself as best you can. But holy shit, I feel really bad for those 100+ people that are now fucking scouring for jobs to figure out how they're going to pay their mortgage. I hate that shit. That's awful.
Oh, dude. Cut that whole thing out. Put it on YouTube Shorts. 1 billion views right there.
We'll see.
Love this.
I don't know.
Swanky Drinkers in the chat says, I think both sides have heroes. Thoughts?
Both sides what? Both sides
have heroes.
What do you mean? Of the laid off and the ones laying them off?
Corporate overlords and the laid off individuals.
Yeah, fuck that. Yeah, fuck
too
that.
Good. Listen, a ton of stuff to talk about for some news headlines. Let's spend a little bit of time talking about each one. I've pulled what I think are some pretty interesting ones, to say the least. The first one that I want to talk about is the sales numbers for a couple really big games were released over the last 2 weeks. And I pulled a bunch of them, and I want to do what we did last time. Remember when I was trying to quiz you about the 2 best-selling games of the year?
Yes, I do remember that.
I want to see if you can guess some figures. Now, some of these you might have seen because you're an internet news consuming individual. Yes. Talk to me about how many copies of Elden Ring have been sold.
How many copies of Elden Ring?
How many copies of Elden Ring?
Like 50 million, 40 million, somewhere in there.
It's less.
It's less? Okay, thank God. I was about to say, I was like, that's a pretty high number. 25 million.
It's more. 30 million copies of Elden Ring sold.
Wow, that's
unbelievable.
Naughty. That's naughty.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that is absolutely crazy. I spoiled this one. Let's see how your memory is. How many copies of Clair Obscur Expedition 33 have been sold?
I saw an infographic today on Twitter. They just hit a million. Just hit a million.
So true. Barb's in the chat says there's not even 30 million people in the world. So true, Queen.
Holy shit. Yeah.
All right. There is a game. Oh, I don't know. This is going to be too obscure. All right. This one I won't quiz you on. But Resident Evil 4 Remake, the fastest selling in the series to reach 10 million in sales. That's pretty impressive. Yeah. That on top of the 10 million moved for Monster Hunter that we were reporting on 2 weeks ago is extremely fucking impressive. Like, Capcom is absolutely crushing it, man.
They got
so exciting.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. Holy fuck. Please announce Resident Evil 9 at Summer Games Fest for fall, because I need it.
Did you see they're teasing that? It's later on in the thing. There was like a additional something about like a sign. There's a promotional image that shows the village from Resident Evil Village that isn't featured in the original artwork. If you go and look at that sign, I don't know. Look up Resident Evil 9 teaser.
No fucking way. Do you think there's any
strings?
Do you think there's any chance it comes this year?
I don't think so.
No.
Does Capcom have anything slated for the end of this year?
That's the thing. I don't think they do.
I don't think they do either. And the only things I know of that Capcom has announced right now is
2X
Pragmata.
I don't know why I just said 2X.
Onimusha.
I'm actually a jackass. That was the dumbest shit I've ever said on the show. Sorry, guys.
That Onimusha game, which isn't until later, I believe.
Yeah. I think that's 2026.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. No, I mean, I think actually there might not be anything on the horizon. So, I mean, it's possible. I would say it would be a pretty good guess to say that the game will be announced. The game will be announced within these next couple months, probably at that Summer Game Fest. I don't know if it'll be at that show in earnest or at the PlayStation State of Play. Even could be like the Xbox show that's confirmed for, I think the 8th is the day of June. So, I don't know. Man, June is going to be so crazy. Can we talk about that real quick?
Dude, so you give me the rundown because I know Death Stranding 2. I know Rematch. Or is Rematch July?
So Rematch might be July, but what's really interesting about June is that it kind of has this crazy like 10 or 12 day spree that actually starts in the end of May, because on May 30th, or is it May 29th, is Elden Ring, Night Rain.
Yeah,
we're a month away from Elden Ring, dude. Insane.
That's absurd. That's absurd.
That's the same day as that Lost Soul Aside game, which is Sony published now, which should get a pretty big marketing push. Those are two very, very interesting ones. And then immediately after that, we have, dude, it gets fucking crazy. So immediately after that, that next week is absolute fucking madness. So June that's the 30th. That next week is the 5th is the release date of the Nintendo Switch 2, which of course brings so many games, a bunch of ports, bunch of upgraded editions. Obviously Mario Kart World, which is fucking massive. So Mario Kart World comes out that day on the 5th. The next day on the 6th is Summer Game Fest in earnest. That's the actual show that night, the Keighley show with all the announcements and trailers. Then I don't know, there's probably like a Wholesome Direct or Day of the Devs or something like that. There's always some other shows the day after Summer Game Fest. Maybe there'll be a Nintendo Direct or a PlayStation State of Play that hasn't been announced yet. Usually they play ball and come around sometime around that time. I feel like we're due for a State of Play or a showcase. But the next day, Sunday, the Xbox event.
Jesus.
Fucking insane, man. Which is followed by the Outer Worlds 2 event.
Yeah.
That sounds right. But yeah, a lot of excitement, a lot of people excited for a bunch of different games, and really a really good time to be like a multiplayer gamer as well, because I mean, Night Rain co-op with friends, as Barb's is saying in chat right now, I think is a great one. Mario Kart World is going to be insane online. I'm really excited with that. Like you're saying, going into Rematch, which is very highly a co-op experience. We're living the dream if you have friends, and if you don't, man, I recommend the Drop In Drop Out Discord, because we're waiting for you.
Yes, amen.
Figured out how to get there. dropindropoutpod.com. Very easy. Let's move on to our next headline. We have Ghost of Yotei. We covered Ghost of Yotei. We can probably get past that, right?
Yeah.
Did you watch the trailer?
I watched part of it.
Yeah, it's good. It's a release date trailer, and they talk a little bit about like the non-linearity of this one. There are like 6 big head honchos to take down, which seems cool, and then you can kind of go in whichever direction that you want. I am not that hot on Ghost of Tsushima, which puts me in the minority of people, but it is cool to see it happening. Nintendo Switch 2 pre-orders we touched on. I'm in, you're out. Ooh, are you a Skate fan?
Growing up, it was impossible to not play Skate because I was a skater.
Yeah.
So we would go to the skate park, and on hour 5, when your body starts shutting down and you need water and you need to sit down, you go inside. They have this little like open room, and you go in that room and you play Skate, whatever fucking game, or Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and you play that for 30 minutes to an hour before you go back out there and skate for another 5 hours. So yes, I would consider myself a skate fan. Yes, I would.
Hell yeah. Look at you go.
Yeah.
Swanky in chat says Mori was a skater boy. Very true.
I was.
Very true. Can you do tricks on that thing?
Yeah, I was about to say we might need to clarify what the tricks are being done on. But yes.
Can you do tricks on anything?
I can do tricks on a skateboard. I mean, not a lot. I can pop an ollie, and I can go grind down a rail, but like I'm not gonna hit a kick.
You can grind, you can ollie.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna do like a Christ air or anything out of the bowl. Like I would
Christ
fucking
air,
die.
man.
Yeah,
Could you drop into a half pipe?
Yeah, probably not anymore. My body is like, I'm a lot heavier now than I was then. I think I'd probably bust some fucking bones, but I could try.
Right.
You know what? If we get 5 subscribers right now, I'm gonna fly Jake to St. Louis, and we're gonna go find a half pipe, and we're gonna live stream it. It's gonna be great.
We're both dropping into the half pipe, and we're gonna have knee pads and fucking arm pads, and we're gonna wrap pillows around me with duct tape so I don't break everything. Right. It's gonna be very good content.
Yeah, oh yeah, I love it.
Barb's just gifted 5 subs to Spotlight Games. Don't ever try me. That's a great $30 value, to be fair.
Oh,
absolutely insane. W Barbs, that's so kind. Absolutely incredible. Hype train level 2 right to it. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah. All right.
A sub for me, even. What a time to be alive.
Okay, Jake, real shit though. We gotta make it. We gotta make good on this now for Barbs. Whenever you're down in Atlanta, I'll come down to Atlanta at the same time.
Bring the skateboard.
And we'll find a half pipe and we'll do it live. We'll do it live. Fuck it. We'll do it live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm down. Yeah, I will absolutely. I used to be like a skateboarder, but I never really skateboarded. I was not good. I can't do an ollie. I can't even go and keep my balance. But I dressed like a skater for like 8 months back in like middle school because that was what was in 2002.
Sure. 100%. That and Blink 182.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I get the vibe.
Yeah, it was cool, man. But yeah, I'll try. Why not? Sounds fun.
Fuck it.
All right. Skate is coming back, as you know. And this is like a non-news story. Like everyone could have predicted this. People were up in a tussy last week about Skate. It's a Skate reboot, so it's not Skate 4, it's just Skate. But you can't play offline. Of course you can. It's a free-to-play online game that is funded by microtransactions.
Yeah.
That's the world we're living in.
Yeah. You don't have to like it, but that's what it is, like, and here's the deal, right? As people sit here and complain about that, and I'm not saying that the Skate audience is the same audience as Concord or Marathon, but like the reality is you don't want a $40 game that you have to pay $40 for at launch. You don't want that because every time it comes out, you fuck the devs over and you fuck the game over. So sorry, you can't play Skate online or offline, cocksucker. Like you get what you get, and don't fucking throw a fit whenever you do exactly what you say you're not going to do. Like this is
free game is free,
dude. Yeah. And I gotta be honest. Me and Khalif have been playing a lot of Marathon, and we've been having this conversation a lot while playing Marathon. And it's just that gamers don't know what the fuck they want. You're saying that you would rather have a paid for Skate game that you can play offline. But if it was $40 fucking, you would riot and fucking throw your pitchforks up and lose your shit. So like, I'm sorry. Yep. I hate gamers. You heard it here first. I hate them.
Yeah.
I don't know how to please these fuckers.
They know what they want to play. They don't understand in a world where multiplayer games are a thing. Rabbit with the gifted sub. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? We're 6 in, baby. Hype train level 2. We love to see it.
I was 6 in last night.
Gamers don't understand. I don't have a boing sound effect here.
Damn it.
Imagine that I played it.
Yeah.
Gamers don't understand what their game that they love needs to be to survive. They have to understand that these things don't grow on trees, and if they want that barrier of entry to be lower, that they need to be okay with microtransactions, and they need to be okay with things being online. And in this world, a really good online game that is sustainable in the long run is going to be fueled entirely by in-game currencies and cool fucking outfits. And if you put out a Skate game right now, even if you put out a Skate game for $70, if you put a Skate game out for $40, if you put a Skate game out for $20 and it wasn't monetized that way, I don't think that game survives and is online 5 years from now. And then you're living the same reality over and over again.
I agree. And that's the thing. Like if gamers at large are like, hey, I am tired of always online games, I am tired of microtransactions, then you have to show up and you have to buy the $40 title. I'm sorry. You fucking have to. Again, like Jake, something I appreciate. is that as much as I bitch and moan at you about the way that you look at Nintendo, you say some really good shit. And that's that, like, yo, this isn't your fucking uncle. This is a business. Yeah. This is a multi-million, if not a multi-billion-dollar business. Mm-hmm. And they need to make fucking money. Like, that's just the truth. So if you want to do something, if you want to make a statement in the industry, go spend your money like you give a shit. Like, go spend your money like you give a fuck. If you want Skate to be offline and a $40 title that you can buy and own forever, go buy a $40 title that you can buy and own forever. But don't bitch and moan on Twitter.
Skate 3.
Or buy Skate 3. Or buy Skate 3. You're so fucking funny. You sound like the one guy. I can't remember what his name was, but when the Xbox One first got announced, they were like, "Well, if you're broke, just play the 360." And that was like,
for sure. We already have no. It wasn't about if you were broke. That was actually more recent. I think that was like one of the Nintendo people were saying like the Nintendo Switch 1 might be the console for you or something like that. I forgot what the more recent story was, but back in the day, it was Xbox One always online.
Right.
Well, what about our people that aren't online? Well, we have a great console already for people that don't play online. That's the Xbox 360 with an expansive library of titles. Fucking get with the times, bro. It's a very funny fucking take.
So funny.
I love it.
Yeah.
In the weirdest news that I've ever seen ever, the director of Wicked is attached to a film adaptation of Split Fiction starring Sydney Sweeney.
Oh, wow. That's going to sell a bajillion dollars.
Yeah, for sure. I love Sydney Sweeney. She's got really nice teeth.
What's the teeth? Yo. What's the song? Do you listen to the song by Ken Carson, Sydney Sweeney? Have you heard it?
How's it go?
It's
Hit me with some bars.
All right. Get ready. We're going to do a live Shakespearean rendition of Sydney Sweeney by Ken Carson. For those of you that don't know,
excellent.
Ken Carson makes music like Playboy Cardi, damn near. And it's profound. He opens with, ladies and gentlemen, Sydney Sweeney by Ken Carson. He proceeds to do 20 more ha's before he reads. Promethazine habit, lean habit, codeine habit, kickstand, yeah, biker, yeah, I'm leaning. I chopped the top off the McLaren. This ain't no Lamborghini. My white hoe got big tits. She remind me of Sydney Sweeney. Ladies and gentlemen,
I fear I will be listening to this song. Very good.
So fucking
excellent rendition as well.
Thank you.
We love to see it.
An honor.
Yeah, man, I don't need this movie in my life, but I'll see it.
Sure.
I'll watch it.
Dude, like even the fact that like Claire Obscure at the slightest success now has a film adaptation in development. I don't know why people do this shit.
That just broke too. All right, we should combine those stories as well.
Let's do it.
Immediately getting licensed out to be a film adaptation. Like what I'm seeing here, what the trend is, the takeaway from these two stories are the fucking turnaround from a game's release and popularity to the film being optioned for a movie or a TV series is getting fucking small.
Bro,
these games, Claire Obscure is not a week off of its release, and they're talking about a movie for it. And Split Fiction was within a month.
And this dude, like, this shit is disastrous. Like, mind you, when this shit happens, these projects stay in development for 7 years before they get canceled. There's no actual like passion or love or creativity that's being poured into this. What happens is a big fucking company is like, holy shit, this game sold money, made money, didn't sell money, it made money. How can we make money off the fucking game? And then like, yeah, it stays in development for 7 years and never fucking comes out. And when it does, you know, it's Until Dawn, the most recent adaptation of a game into a movie, which is getting like 5s out of 10s across the board. Like, it's so soulless and lifeless and heartless. And it's like, I hate this shit, bro. I hate that this is our reality. Like, if these were passionate people coming to the table, you know, who had played, you know, none of those people that made that announcement have played an hour of Claire Obscure. You know what I mean? Like, if these people were like, dude, I've dumped 4,000 hours into Clair Obscur. Obviously, that's a ridiculous number. And I love this game, and I love the direction, and I love the world, and I love the story, and I want to like build upon the universe. And I want to actually go out of my way and work with the developers of Clair Obscur to build something special that can stand on its own, but also exist in this universe. It's like, oh, you're a fan. These people aren't fans, Jake. They just want money. But they aren't my
Here's
uncle.
my pitch. Imagine an Uncharted movie starring Tom Holland.
God damn it, Jake.
And Mark Wahlberg, where Mark Wahlberg was initially cast to play.
Wait, was Mark Wahlberg originally cast to play Nathan Drake?
That game was in that movie was in development hell for so fucking long that Mark Wahlberg was attached to the project for 11 years, and he went from being Nathan Drake to being Sully.
I never knew that. What the fuck?
Yeah,
that's
fucking
so
crazy.
Funny. That's so
fucking
funny.
Crazy.
Wow.
Caleb says I stand by. I liked that movie. I watched that movie on a plane. I'm gonna be honest. Great plane movie.
Great plane movie.
I think I rated it 3 out of 5 stars on Letterboxd. That's a very reasonable fucking score.
Sure.
It's great. It's great. You're gonna be happy about this one. PS5 classic themes are back, baby.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
No shit.
The ones that were the ones that were brought back for a limited time and everyone caused a ruckus and said, why wouldn't you just let us have these? Well, now you got that good stuff. I think there's still like an issue, like there's like no PS1 boot up sound or something like that, but it seems like it's all coming back, which is pretty cool. 2 more small ones. The first ever full Fortnite Star Wars season is nearly upon us, launching next week. We got listen, you know any of this stuff?
No, I don't. I saw the announcement, but I didn't read any of the details. So this is new to me. Give me the lowdown.
Okay. All right, you tell me, do you know these Star Wars characters? All right.
Okay. Yeah, easy. I'm a diehard Star Wars fan, so let's see.
Sheev Palpatine.
Yeah, I know Sheev Palpatine. Yeah.
Okay. Poe Dameron.
I do know Poe Dameron.
Clup Shido.
Clup Shido? Who the fuck is that?
That's a funny.
Did you just pull my leg? Did you just pull my leg?
No, that's like it's like a meme. Oh man, the origins of Glup Shido. Let me see how fast I can. Origin Glup Shido. Originally put on Tumblr. It was Glup Shido. Every time a new Star Wars movie or show is announced, all the fans are like, OMG, Glup Shido back.
Jesus Christ.
It's not a real character, but people have really latched onto it, and now Glup Shido is in the fucking lore of like it's just some random ass Star Wars name that everyone gets excited for.
You know, it would have been so incriminating if I looked you dead in your face after you said Club Shido, and I was like, dude, I love Club Shido.
I know. I was hoping that'd get
you. Yeah. No. So Sheev Palpatine, Poe Dameron.
Yep. I think there's like a new First Order Stormtrooper.
Okay.
Mace Windu.
Oh, I might finish. Okay.
Yeah, very good. And then ready for this. This is a fun one. I think this is probably the coolest like idea that they're going for here with this. Oh, I think C-3PO as well. But
is this the Darth Jar Jar bullshit?
Darth Jar Jar, yes.
So fucking
That's so
funny.
cool, man. That's so funny.
Yeah,
to really just like embrace that theory. And it's obviously, you know, tongue in cheek because it's Fortnite and it's kind of dumb and jokey and in its essence. Great place for that. I love the move. Darth Jar Jar, very cool. We'll be playing some Star Wars for sure. We'll play. I mean, probably bank on. I think there's enough of like interest. We almost streamed Fortnite as drop in, drop out a couple weeks ago, and then we switched up our plan. And I feel like it's such an easy one. And I know it's the low hanging fruit, and it's like, wow, a podcast group getting together and playing Fortnite. Unbelievable. How original. But if it's fucking Star Wars and we all have cool skins and stuff like that, I think that's a fun stream for a couple hours. So look forward to it. You heard it here first.
You need to let me know when we're doing it because I will actually show up. For the record,
everyone needs 2,000 V-Bucks and a night.
When does it?
Because we're gonna need some skins.
When does it drop?
I want to say like May 2nd or 3rd. It's something around like May the 4th.
Well, I was about to say I'm off work May the fucking 4th.
Oh yeah.
Maybe you and me and get some other droppers and make a good time out of it.
Yeah. May 2nd it drops. Star Wars Tales of the Underworld. No, that's something different. That's something different.
I got really excited. I was like, what a wild fucking name. All right.
Wow. That is the animated like Clone Wars spin-off show that has like Asajj Ventress and stuff like that. It's like Tales of the Jedi.
Yeah, that's right. I remember they announced that. Yeah.
Oh, it is May 2nd though, I think, for the entire season 3 skins and battle pass and all that. Pretty crazy.
Cool. I love it.
Oh yeah, man. There's a whole thing here. The whole map is Star Wars themed. There are 5 episodes that start every week that progress the season. So episode 1 is the Imperial Takeover on May 2nd. Episode 2 is the Pull of the Force on May 8th. Episode 3 is Mandalorian Rising on May 22nd. Episode 4 is Star Destroyer Bombardment on May 29th. And episode 5 is the Death Star Sabotage on June 7th. That's so fucking cool.
Yeah, I will be there. I will be there.
And Fortnite is so good at like trickling in new stuff too. So they're going to add crazy shit on the like playable interactable weapons and vehicles side. I've heard tell of like flyable X-Wings, which is absolutely incredible. The battle pass includes some collaborations where it's like existing Fortnite characters kind of in like Star Wars garb, and then the battle pass also includes Palpatine, Poe Dameron, and General Grievous.
You didn't tell me General Grievous was in there.
No, I did leave that one out.
Fuck.
Pretty incredible. So a lot to look forward to. So we'll probably see some of that stuff here in the near future, and we will broadcast it probably on the Dropout page.
I love it.
Really cool. The last thing that I want to talk about real quick, one of my favorite games of last year, they talked a little bit about a potential sequel for Indiana Jones. Jones. I had such a good time. You didn't play that game, did you?
I played like 3 hours of it. Mind you, this is as a diehard Wolfenstein fan. Like, okay. To be a little more clear, the reason I did not continue to play Indiana Jones was a consumer decision that this would happen. My exact fear would happen. I don't want an indie sequel. I want Wolfenstein 3, the trilogy we were promised, and then I want Indiana Jones 2. But with what it sounds like you're about to tell me, it sounds like my concerns were valid, and I will never find out what happened to BJ Blazkowicz after Wolfenstein.
No, I think you will. I think maybe the trilogy idea is it'll be a lot less of a trilogy, but I think that they are probably working on that game, let's say.
Really?
I think so. I would say Wolfenstein 3 is a shoo-in. I think those games are pretty popular.
They're so fucking good, dude. I think Wolfenstein, The New Order, and Wolfenstein: The New Colossus are 2 of like the best games of the last.
I love both of those games. I didn't finish either of them, but I got like 7 hours into both of them, and I had a fucking really good time. I remember specifically when I first got my PC for the first time, having a PC in like 2 decades because I was a Mac user. Got my first gaming PC, and Wolfenstein 2 was one of the first games that I booted up keyboard and mouse shooting again for the first time in a really long time. And it felt so fucking good. That game is really, really dope.
Yeah.
Very good stuff. But yeah, I'm excited. I think Indiana Jones definitely, I think Phil Spencer, what he said, quote unquote, is there's life in that franchise about the Great Circle when they were kind of talking about the way it was received and how the release went. So I think that's a really good sign.
Good. I love it. Yeah.
What could be better? I think nothing could be better. I really, really love where we're at. But my friend, you got anything else you want to talk about?
I don't think so, bro. I think we covered a lot today. I think that I will venture to say, to guess, that more news was covered in this Spotlight episode than any other Spotlight episode. We covered
that might be true.
We covered like 14 fucking stories.
Yeah.
I don't know.
For sure. I feel a little bit bad about that because it's a little bit different pacing than regular Spotlight, which maybe is not my liberty to take, because typically what they do is they dive a little harder into the big news story, and then they just kind of rattle off some headlines about the other stories, and I really love like we'll spend a little bit more time on those like stories at the top that are like top of mind. But I do like talking a little bit about everything too. So
I agree. And just
Patrick
for the
doesn't
record,
fire me.
Oh, I don't think you will. We got 6 subscriptions this episode. That's a pretty good fucking average.
Yeah, that's true. We're crushing it. Chat, you guys have been great. Listeners, you have been great. YouTube VOD watchers, you have been great. Why don't you all join the Dido Discord? We have a Discord for all of the drop-in, drop-out community, whether it is Spotlight Games, JK Games, Clickerbait, Cognitive Clips, JakeTwitchin, our dumpster boy, and sometimes GWT Mori. That's what Patrick wrote, and sometimes GWT Mori. The Discord is popping, and you should all join. Go to dropindropoutpod.com to find that. All the different places that we were bringing you that sweet, sweet content, like dropindropoutpod.com. I appreciate everybody's time. Maury, thank you for hanging out with me and talking video games news. What do you say we do this again next week?
I think I can probably make that shake. And when I say probably, I mean I will be here next week at 7 p.m.
Hell yeah. We will now wave at the camera until the new outro plays. Enjoy. Thank you all so much. Bye.